Just bagged another 2 clients for Betty and Laurel to get the teeth into.
Oh, an image I shall struggle to put out of my mind.
This time next year, I want a cleaning team in every village in Yorkshire.
Oh. Armed to the teeth with furniture polish, duster poking out of your frilly pinny, no spider safe from your feather duster.
You know what to say, where there's muck, there's brass.
You know what they say, keeping about. So, what's next in your plan for world domination? Drain maintenance? Pest control?
Thanks, Dad. You tell it how it is.
If you're skiving off, I'm having the afternoon off sick.
I'm not skiving, I'm a working man.
Yeah, only so you can perv over Debbie.
Right, best be off. Get me afternoons perving in.
Give you a lift if you want, Victoria.
Whatever.
You didn't tell him you got an appointment to see his headmaster.
Well, there's no point in him panicking until we know what it's about.
They can't force him back to school, can they?
Dad?
Yeah, I'm coming.
Hey, ring me as soon as you come out. It's just so difficult to concentrate on the estate during this tragic time.
Sorry. We haven't met.
This is Angelina from, Horse and House. She's doing a piece on the shoot for next month's issue.
Oh, the shoot your mother didn't want.
Right. I think we should reconvene in the office. Come along, Gray.
Heel, boy. She's taunting us. Not for much flaming longer, Jimmy.
Have you told her yet?
Well, I will when the time's right.
Think I'm gonna hang around forever, do you? Warmed up yet, Katie? She's so pushed me in that water on purpose.
Don't start.
Look, stuff her. Come here.
What's that for?
I'm dead sorry. For being a moody, miserable old ratbag.
Well, I've not helped either. All we seem to do is argue.
It's my fault, though. I've been all over the place, Andy, and I should have told you before. I've missed a period. So I think I'm pregnant.
The one with the carved angel's nice.
Theatrical for dawn.
Well, that's what they're for, aren't they? So you don't forget.
Well, of course, but I'd go for something a little less in your face myself.
That'll be a first.
No need to torment the nicotine addict.
Giving up smoking's easy. I've done it hundreds of times. The first few days are the worst.
Oh, I hope it's worth it. Me lungs might be as clear as mountain air, but I've shoved so many wine gums down my neck I don't need teeth left.
Jane, have you got it? Look, I need an expert to cast his eye over a potential pitch on the market.
Selling what?
My solar panels. Got rid of one yesterday, but it's obviously not enough.
You need something more commercial, wouldn't you? Ladies' lingerie. Always a goer in the run-up to Valentine's Day.
Nylon knickers are more likely to lead to an antifungal pessary than a night of passion.
Such vulgarity is neither ladylike nor necessary. In my day, ladies kept their private business to themselves.
Where'd that get them?
At least we weren't the kind of slatterns who moulded in their own filth.
I do have standards, Edna.
Yes, they just happen to be lower than those of the rest of us. Now, you can't seriously expect somebody to enjoy a drink in this midden.
It is a temporary blip, Edna. The cleaners have not turned up.
Not so temporary. I just ran into Laurel, who informed me that unless we fancy swilling out the urinals ourselves, we have to employ her via David Metcalf. Or ask Rodney what he's going to do about it.
Do about what?
This relentless quest for assistance is becoming rather monotonous.
I know you're holding back about Rosemary.
Well, I've already told all to everyone who needs to know it. So unless there's something earth-shattering, can we do this later?
We both know that Rosemary didn't have a pot to pee in when she met me dad. I think she married him for his money, then killed him in cold blood on his wedding day because she knew she'd pocket the lot. Is that earth-shattering enough for you?
You haven't done a test yet?
Well, it's too early yet, but I've got that feeling like I did before.
Of the baby? Blimey.
It wouldn't be so bad, would it?
Well, Sarah's enough of a handful.
So it's okay to have a baby with your underage ex-girlfriend, but not your wife?
It's not what I meant.
You know, all those years ago, and You held my hand and you said it's all you ever wanted. You and me and our baby. You know, thanks for telling me you changed your flaming mind.
I'm sorry, but you've taken advantage of me. You've let me run that business single-handedly without an extra penny. And you've never said, you know, oh, well done, Laurel. Don't you work hard, Laurel. Here's a pay rise, Laurel.
You only had to ask.
Well, I shouldn't have to, and I'm sorry, Rodney, but, you know, David's made us an offer we just can't refuse.
Oh, looks like you've been gazumped, Rodders.
Right, now here are your keys. Here's your work mobile, and I'll drop the accounts and client list off later.
No, please don't do this to
now,
me.
good luck with getting more staff. Oh, and you better get that. That's our 130. Try.
Right, I better leave you to
Jamie,
it.
I need you. Yep. Hello, Rodney Blackstock.
There's room for both of us, surely.
That office is the hub of my empire. I do all my creative thinking there.
Yeah, we can hear him snoring, even with the machines going.
And do not even consider storing malodorous cleaning materials in here. The health and safety of my staff is paramount.
Since when?
Since now, Delilah.
I set myself up, undercut the opposition, and it's still not good enough.
Well, you're too much alike. That's the problem.
Cheers.
And he's angry because he wasn't the one who thought of nicking Rodney's customers from under Rodney's nose.
What do I have to do to impress him?
That is simple. Do better than he has. Wipe his nose in it before you run him over with your spanking new Ferrari.
I was aware of a contract drawn up by Grayson before the wedding, but it's hardly a secret. Tom announced it at the wedding reception.
That's all you know, is it?
So, you can go now.
Listen, unless you think justice is a dirty word, please talk to me.
Tom and Rosemary at the wedding reception. They were flirting madly. He wanted her to meet him upstairs. Tom couldn't wait till they got to their hotel. She said she'd follow him. And the next time I saw Tom, he was lying on the ground.
You heard her say that?
It doesn't mean anything.
We both know it's more than that, don't we? Will you make a statement? Will you tell the police what you've just told me?
She's my mother-in-law. If I'm wrong, I could lose everything. My husband, my home.
My dad lost his life.
I'd like to help you, but I can't. So please don't ask me again. As far as I'm concerned, this conversation never happened.
Well, did he put you up to this?
Strange as it might seem, I can live without the acquisition of a ragtag bunch of cleaners.
Those girls worked for me.
And you neglected them.
What? I see them nearly every day and they've never had problem making themselves heard.
There's nothing wrong with a bit of healthy competition.
Blackstock? Yes.
How's he supposed to compete when you've known his workforce?
Well, I suggest he rolls up his sleeves and gets cracking. Isn't that right, Rodney?
Look, yeah, I shall call you right back, if I may. Thank you. You've been waiting for this moment for years.
You could disagree, but I never knowingly tell a lie.
Well, this fruit hasn't fallen far from this warped excuse for a tree.
What?
Look at him. Devious, ruthless, scheming, backstabbing, persecutor of the vulnerable. Just like your father.
That's my boy.
It's a free market. They have the right to choose. He's had it all his own way for far too long.
Excuse me, David, just hang on a minute, will you? He's living in a shed. He's bankrupt. And you've just took away his only source of income.
Hey, that man already owes me several months' back rent. I'm stretching my philanthropy to breaking point by ignoring the fact that the contract regarding the antiques barn categorically forbids living on the premises. He should be grateful he's got a roof over his head to conduct his business.
Oh, yeah. Lucky Rodney, eh?
So, you reckon I've done all right then?
Can't deny a free soul. But now that you've had your moment, take my advice. Offload. There's something rather grisly about domestic service with its odour of estrogen, perspiration, and all things, menopausal.
Won't happen, sorry.
Then I suggest you start looking for other premises. I think you'll find the factory ain't big enough for both of us.
Sorry.
Look, is it me you don't want? Or just another baby?
Katie, you don't know you're pregnant yet. Not for sure. And the last time, when you were, well, it didn't happen, did it?
Just because I've had one miscarriage doesn't mean I'm going to have another. You know, look at you when you were Sarah. And I think that could have been our baby. The baby we should have but never did. If we'd had it, then maybe things between us wouldn't have gone so wrong.
Come here. Whatever happens, I'll sort something out.
I just love you so much.
I have been thinking of having this room redecorated. I've always found this colour rather oppressive.
You, outside, now.
I beg your pardon?
Well, I don't think you'd like witnesses to hear what I've got to say.
But I do apologise. As one of Tom's sons, you can understand the strain he's under.
Yeah, and my dad is still lying in a morgue because there's an ongoing murder investigation into his suspicious death. Want me to carry on?
I suspect we've heard enough already.
You haven't heard the half of it.
Yes, thank you, Grayson. I'll look after this. Would you excuse us?
Clause 15B states specifically that he's forbidden from living on the premises.
Well, since when did you become a grovelling little job's worth?
He's taking advantage, and there's nothing wrong with looking after your family's interests.
Like Eric needs looking after. God, he'd send his granny to a brothel without losing a minute's sleep.
If you don't stand up for your rights, Del, no one else will.
He's brainwashed you. Just stop and think for 1 minute before you end up like him, old and bitter with no mates.
It's dog eat dog in this life, Del.
Yeah, well, I thought you were more of a man, David.
Excuse me, young man. That is Mr. Blackstock's property.
That's where you're mistaken, Edna.
It is Mrs. Birch to you.
Now I can prove that you had the motive and the opportunity.
This wouldn't by any chance have anything to do with Perdita, would it? How vindictive of her.
You married me old man for his money and then bumped him off without even giving the poor old sod the courtesy of a wedding night.
Methinks you do protest too much, darling.
What do you mean?
I mean that you're trying to cover your own guilt by deflecting attention onto me. Clever, but not clever enough.
What's going on?
Your brother seems to be suffering from post-traumatic stress syndrome. You should get some attention as soon as possible.
What's all that about?
We're getting there, Jimbo. We're getting there.
Thought you were working in the garage, not down the pit. Let's get you into a bath before Diane catches sight of you.
Are you going to tell me you're at school? Seeing the head?
I was going to choose me moment.
No, when we're going back.
You don't have to. We've had a chat, and because you're a special case.
Because he's wealthy.
You can carry on working as long as you stick at English, maths and science. That is, if Debbie and Scott think you can make a go of it.
Well, it's a bit useless at the moment, but it's got potential.
Cheers, Jack.
We've all gone out on a limb for you, Darren. So for heaven's sake, don't let us down.
Come on. I'm not being funny, Roddy. That place stank of cats. And cleaning isn't my thing, all right?
And I couldn't have done it without you. Jamie, you are my lifebelt in the tempestuous seas of life.
What are you on about now?
Rodney!
Make it up to you.
Rodney!
Hello, what's up?
Oh, it's David. He's in there. I'm really sorry. See you in a bit, okay? All you have to do was say, Katie, it's over, and you didn't even have the balls. I don't get it, Andy. Are you lying to me, her, or both of us?
I don't want to lie to either of you.
Oh, you're loving this. Getting off and having two women fighting over you. You know what? You've had your chance. From now on, it's just one.
Where's your compassion, your Christian charity?
I have rights as a tenant.
Believe me, I really don't want to have to do this.
Well, then don't. Nobody's forcing you.
I'm sorry, but you've breached the terms of your contract.
Yeah, with the full knowledge of your father.
David, you're making the man homeless.
He's already reduced to cleaning bogs for a living.
Rodney signed a contract which clearly states this isn't a residential property.
It was only a temporary measure. Look, you must realise that my circumstances have changed somewhat in the last few months.
Sorry. I've got plans for this place. You tight, miserable get.
Who cares when you look like that?
David.
Rodney, the accounts.
It's hardly the perfect moment, Laurel. Appears I'm being evicted.
I'm really sorry. I mean, I took the job from him, but I didn't think he would do all this.
It's just one of the slings and arrows, Laurel. Nothing I can't deal with. David, look. A few days' grace, yeah? Just so I can make alternative arrangements. Please. Spare me this indignity. Please. Look, why don't we call Eric, yeah? I'm sure we can iron this out.
Oh, I support David's actions 100%. So I suggest you pack up your marigolds and remove your car boot rubbish from my premises right now.
Now you know you can bang her up and throw away the straitjacket.
I appreciate you both a bit emotional at the moment, but act like adults and not a couple of overexcited Nancy Drews.
This is why I specifically asked for Barrowclough. I knew you wouldn't hear a word said against... Oh, Lucretia Borgia here.
You do flatter me, my dear. An unexpected pleasure, Charles.
He is here in an official capacity.
In which case, we'll leave you to it, Mum.
You're not going anywhere. You've murdered our dad and we've got proof.
Oh, I see. And you've all turned up here to denounce me. How very Agatha Christie. You see what I'm up against, Charles.
It's relentless and so unnecessary.
I've been thinking, and I've decided that since my presence in this house obviously causes consternation to my poor bereaved stepsons, I'm going away for a while. I'm going to go on holiday. From tomorrow, you'll find me at the Hotel Regina in Val d'Isere. I shall obviously leave a forwarding number.
You're going flaming skiing when we've not buried our dad yet.
We've sussed her and now she's running away. Bit of a coincidence, don't you think, Inspector Thick of the Yard?
This woman's just lost her husband. Where's your compassion, for God's sake?
We lost our dad.
You can run, but you can't hide. I'm going to prove you did it. Or die trying. OK, Rosie.
Joe, what are you doing?
Well, I can't stay, can I? It's been bad enough all this time as it is. Watching you two together, imagining you both every night in bed.
Don't, please.
You don't want to make the decision. You're going to have to live with it.
I have made my decision.
Well, it didn't look like that when you were forcing your tongue down her throat. I'm sick of the excuses, Andy.
I'm no liar and I'm not playing games. I meant everything I said to you yesterday. It's just the timing couldn't be any worse.
Well, it's not going to get any better, is it? I mean, face it, you win.
I want you. You and me. I just feel responsible for Katie.
Well, it's not like you've got any kids together or anything.
She's my wife. She came back to me when she had nobody else in the world. I can't just kick her onto the streets. She deserves to be let down slow.
Well, I can't keep doing this forever.
I'm not asking you to. A few days, that's all.
Okay. A few days and that's it. If you haven't got round to telling her by then, I will.
Georgina! It's Rodders here. Listen, I'm afraid I'm going to be out of town for a couple of days, so I'll catch you later. Ciao, baby.
So Austin Powers.
Right, that's everything valuable in Len's garage.
There's plenty more room in my attic for as long as you like.
Thank you, Edna.
Good of you to let a desperate man use all that space in your workshop.
Sorry. We're chocker tomorrow.
The rest will have to go in the van.
You're not going to let them get away with this, are you?
Well, there's nothing more I can do for the moment. But as I fall so far, so high will I rise that when my chance for retribution comes, Pollard and his mini-me won't know what's hit them.
Right.
Come on, Jamie. Give me a hand with this.
Whoa! Ah! Rogers.
I have to hand it to you. I doubted you at first. But I'm very happy to say that you've inherited the Pollard touch.
Cheers, Dad.
You are a hard-hearted, lying piece of rubbish.
Del, it's not what you think.
Oh, you'll be telling me it's for Rodney's good next?
It's called collateral damage. It's a necessary evil. I don't feel good about it, you know.
Why don't you tell that to someone who cares, David, eh?
Bit late in the day for a cardboard sale, isn't it? What's going on?
Why don't you ask old Scrooge Pants here?
Always conflict between business and pleasure. I don't need to tell you which comes first. You've done very well. Very well indeed.
Oh, the Pollards, such a nice family. Well, next tonight it's Tracy's birthday and she's in the cells. Happy birthday, Trace, in Coronation Street. At 8, The Bill. Then at 9, Matt Damon stars in the movie premiere, a spy thriller, The Bourne Supremacy. Altogether an entertaining night ahead.